In this video, I'm going to answer the question of what content to write about in your blog. The answer is ridiculously simple, and it is in front of just about every business, but most businesses don't realize how simple it is. And here's how simple it truly is. Think about this model that is called They Ask, We Answer. There's actually a book that talks about that very model. It's a great book, I highly recommend it. It's on Amazon, costs like 17, 18 bucks as of the time of this recording, which is March of 2020. So, when you think about what to write about in the blog, think about it this way. What questions are your prospective customers, clients, patients are asking? What questions are your current clients, customers, patients are asking? Document all of those questions, like you can use a notepad or a Google Doc or a spreadsheet where you just write down every single question that people ask, and then write answers to those questions in your blog. This is how simple it is. You do not need to come up with any ideas. Your customers, clients, patients already gave you all of the ideas that you need in order to write your blog, right? And by following this model, it will make it a lot easier for you to actually create the content. And here's why. You don't need to make anything up. You already answered those questions day in and day out, right? So what could be simpler? In fact, let me tell you a story that is very near and dear to my heart, because it happened to me 6 years ago when I was at a conference in Boston and I met Bob. Bob was this guy in his late 50s, and he asked me what I did, and I told him and asked him what he did, and he said, I'm semi-retired and looking for the next big idea. I asked him, Bob, well, what did you do before? And he said, well, Sasha, I owned 4 sleep clinics in the state of Alaska. I said, interesting, did you sell those? And he said, no, I didn't sell them, but what happened was around 2009, one of my associates who was answering the phones came up to me and said, Bob, people call us and ask us the same stupid questions time and time and time and again. So why don't we, instead of answering the same stupid questions, why don't we write up an FAQ section on our website, and when they call, we just send them to the website so they can look up the answers. And Bob thought to himself, that's interesting. If people are asking the same questions on the phone, chances are there are some people who are asking the very same questions online. He also thought that sending people who are calling him to the website was a stupid idea, since you already have them on the phone, but it's a good idea to write up all of that FAQs. So Bob tells his 4 people who are answering his phones, he says, for the next 2 weeks, write down every question that people ask you on the phone. Just keep a notepad next to your phone and write down every single question that they ask. And then we'll compare the notes after 2 weeks. Well, it took them 3 weeks to come up with a list of 113 unique questions. So Bob tells them, all right, we cannot create an FAQ section with 113 unique questions and answers. That would be too long. So what we're going to do instead, for every question that they ask, we're going to create a blog page. His team rebelled. They said, you want us to write 113 pages of answers? No way. And he tells them, no, calm down. You don't have to do it overnight or next week. Let's do like a couple of posts per day, each one of you. It took them a few months to produce 113 pages of content. But once they started publishing that content, Bob noticed an interesting thing. The traffic volume to his website started dramatically increasing. It was just pop, and going up. Why? Because they've created a lot of content that was in demand. People were actually looking for that information, but they didn't find it until his website came about, and now they could find it. And his information was really new, so Google ranked him fairly high, and because that information was viable and valuable, people actually spent a considerable amount of time interacting with that information, reading it, so they stayed longer on the website. So when Google looks at how much time people spend on your website versus your competitors, if they see that they're spending considerable amount of time on your website versus your competitors, chances are Google is going to increase your ranking, and as it increases your ranking, more and more people will see your website and search, and more people will come to your website. Long story short, more and more people started coming to Bob's website, and more people started actually coming to his clinics. So his traffic increased dramatically, his revenue increased substantially. But what happened 4 years later in 2013, one of his large mainland competitors came to him and said, Bob, we want to buy you out. And he said, you want to buy my clinics? And they said, we're not interested in your clinics. What we are interested in is your website. Bob sold that website for $17 million. The one secret or not such secret ingredient was 113 pages of content. That content answered the common questions that people asked. If you follow the very same strategy with your blog, chances are your traffic is going to increase dramatically, especially if your competitors have not taken the time to do this. And your revenues will start increasing substantially. Do this and your business will grow. You can thank me later. Don't do this, as I assume vast majority of people who will watch this will not do, and your business will not grow. At least it will not grow as fast. So I really beg you to take the time and put in the time and effort to do this, because your business will be so much better off for it. And by the way, here's a hack that you could use to speed up the production process. Just as I am recording this video in the format of somebody has asked me a question, what content should I write for my blog? And I'm providing an answer in video. After I'm done recording this video, I am going to, or someone on my team is going to send this recording to a transcription service company. They're going to transcribe this content, and one of my copywriters is going to take that transcription. That transcription is going to look good enough, but my copywriter is going to make it look even better and make it flow even better. And then we're going to post this, the video and the written content for this blog post, and it's going to take all of about 20 minutes of my time, because I already knew the answer to this question. And using this strategy, because you answer those questions or your employees answer these questions all the time, you could do the exact same thing. Instead of actually typing up content, which most people hate to do unless they're like love writing or they're professional copywriters, what you do is you just ask them or do it yourself, stand in front of a camera, record answers to those questions. You may have 100 questions or 200 questions or 50 questions. Do as many as there are questions, and then send them to transcription service, then have a copywriter type it up for you, and then voila, have it posted on your website. Make sure that it's also optimized. There's quite a bit of science to that. If you want to learn how to make sure that your posts yield the greatest return, as in getting the most attention and converting people into actual viable business, reach out to us. Just hit a contact, go fill out the contact form and ask like, I want to learn how to get better results through my blog. And we'll happily advise you absolutely free of charge. Thanks for watching.